They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
Movo. Creators want it.
What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday. It is a little after 7:30. I know last week I was like on it at 7:30, and I know that it looks a little dark. It's because I've got a hard time trying to position these lights because I don't have any tripods. And if you are hearing me right now, well, you are hearing me on a Movo wireless mic, and that is one of my Ulanzi lights dropping. I forgot my tripod, so there's a lot of things that I was hoping to do today that I can't do because I'm missing a couple things. It's what happens. It just happens. It happens every so often. So, but hey, what's going on, Jad? Can't wait to have you on next week. But guys, welcome to the Geek Saga. This is usually two salty veterans that are huge geeks. Today, it is just me still, but it is getting closer to David coming back. And I'm actually really excited. I can't wait to have him back on because I miss the little guy. I miss being able to bounce off of him. So hopefully we'll get him back next week along with with a special guest next week that our guest host will start him out as a guest coming onto the show. Then we'll see how he does as a host. But guys, I am again up at work in this building in the MWR. And they do have a really cool movie theater that I was going to be using today. But again, I needed 4 tripods. I didn't have my tripods up here with me because switching cars and all kinds of stuff that went on this week. And so therefore here I am again in front of the screen back there. It says The Geek Saga. And showing my, I kind of jumped on the bandwagon. I am now, yeah. I watched it. I seriously was thrilled and enjoyed watching it. And I cannot wait to see what's next. And I actually just saw something pop up recently about they already have the script ready to go for Superman 2. So, but think of this. You got freaking Corn Sweat and Alcock. Superman and Supergirl. I mean, they're great names. Great names. But anyways, yeah, sorry guys. I know. I get it. I know. But anyways, yeah, so I'm still up here at the MWR. Today it is closed to everybody else, but tomorrow they're going to be opening this place up and people are going to be able to enjoy it and enjoy all the really great amenities that they have in this place. And I know I'm sounding like a freaking infomercial for something that nobody else can get to, but this is what I'm doing. And I know there's somebody out there walking around and I can't open the door because if I do, it's going to ruin this. But anyways, yeah, see, I had to just shake my nose or my head. Tell them no, sorry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of the stories that we're going to be talking about tonight and also our history segment that we're going to be doing. But this past weekend, I actually had a chance to go over to the Comic Den. I want to shout out to them, Joseph and Aaron over at the Comic Den. It was actually really cool to go out there it's a great shop. And I want to say what city, it's in Los Angeles. It's off La Brea. But I don't remember what city I just know I was driving forever. right there we go. There we go. Of course. I feel like it's going to be one of those nights where it's going to be a lot of dropping internet. I got that feeling tonight. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, I was over at the Comic Den. I picked up a couple of books, and I also got to talk to Joseph a little bit. This is a man who is chock full of information when it comes to comics. And also Aaron, who is helping him out to get their social media going, who is a independent gamer, game creator. It was great talking to them. They always put up content on the Comic Den on Instagram at the Comic Den. So check it out. Go to the store. Obviously, I'm always all about talking and promoting the small stores or even just comic stores in general, because come on, guys, it's not like it was back in the day when I was younger. Some other people were younger, where we had a lot of comic book stores to choose from. We really did, but now we really don't. So, but my big store that I had back in the day was Comic Heaven, which was in Alhambra. And that place, I remember, was huge, like seriously huge. They had multiple 8-foot long by 4-foot long bins of back issues. And then, of course, they had back issues along the wall. They had all kinds of really cool stuff. And yeah, I was really excited to be able to go to that store. And that was my first comic book store. Then I actually worked at a comic shop in Covina, which was called California Comics. And it was small. And then it got bigger. And then, unfortunately, it ended up closing. But there's a little history about me and where I worked. But yeah, it was great to go down there. And if you guys get a chance to check out their Instagram, check out their shop, head down there, tell Joseph Eugene from Geek Saga sent you guys. He'll probably say, cool. Just like everywhere else. Can't say he'll give you a discount. No. He'll say, cool. Awesome. Thank you for coming. I mean, they do appreciate when you come into the store and purchase some stuff. And whenever I get to these stores, I love to do that. I love to actually, buy a couple comics, see what they've got. And actually, he had some really cool back issues on the wall. He had some nice Wolverines. And I was like, that's what I want next. I want to build back up my old Wolverine collection. I'm in my Uncanny X-Men comics right now, and actually I picked up a couple at We Can Be Heroes, because home store for the Geek Saga, We Can Be Heroes. Not to say that Golden Apple isn't my home store too, because Kendra, Ryan, I do love you guys too, but I spread the love. But I have been going to We Can Be Heroes a little bit longer now, and picked up a couple of back issues for Uncanny X-Men, because they have their, on Sundays, they usually do it like, I think it's like 25% off. Sometimes they do 50% off back issues. So when they do that, obviously I'm going to roll in there and I'm going to swoop up what I can, because I'm still tracking down all my Uncannies. So anyways, there you go, guys. I'm just babbling on. Why not? Because I can. It's my show. But we do want to give some love to, obviously, our affiliates. And a lot of the equipment that we have, I got from our affiliates, and I do seriously 100% back, because, I mean, shoot, why not? And what is going on, James? Yeah, some cold brew, root beer. It is not Supergirl. It's Superman. Damn it. It's corn sweat, not all cock. You see what I did there? Anyways, I know I'm bad. But anyways, all right, guys. So let's talk about our affiliates. So we're going to kick it off with, of course, one of my favorites, Ulanzi. Ulanzi is a great company. Obviously, the lights that I have right here that are lighting me up, and unfortunately, if I had tripods, they would be lighting up even better. Not to say that they're not doing a good job, because these things are pretty tiny. I don't want to move them, because then I got to reset them and I'm going to be like, Anyways, they're great lights. They've got a lot of great lights. A lot of the lights that are lighting up the studio at home are Ulanzi lights. I use these ones in particular. I use them when I go to a con because they are rechargeable and they have different tones. They have different settings, different modes. They're great little lights and they will brighten things up for you guys. So if you guys are looking for lights, even tripods, other like videography accessories, photography accessories, Ulanzi is a place to go. So go check them out. There is a link in our bio. Click on that. It should still be an affiliate link. If it's not, well, I got to fix that. But they are an affiliate. You purchase from them, help us out. It's a great deal. There's still a lot of stuff I need to get from Ulanzi. They've got I am not going to lie, but I am a light whore. I love lighting for some reason. I don't know. I like seeing how it changes. Go figure. But I have a ton of lights at home. Good lights. Yes, good lights. Ulanzi. Next, we've got Renegade Game Studios. So Renegade Game Studios is a great company also. They've got great games. They've got a lot of great IPs like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, My Little Pony, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and now they just purchased Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you guys don't know about Dungeon Crawler Carl, get out there, find the books. They're freaking amazing books. I love them. But they're now going to be coming out with a what do you call it? They're coming out with a Dungeon Crawler Carl RPG game, which or RPG, not RPG. RPG game is role-playing game. It's just RPG. Or is it TTRPG? I don't know anymore. I just know you play it on the table and you have fun. But they've got a lot of great things. Check them out, guys. I do love their games. I have that one deck builder right there, which is Transformers. So they have deck builders and they have RPGs or TTRPG. It's just as bad as the damn army with all these acronyms. But anyways, check them out, guys. I love them. Oh, yes. I am going to be mentioning that. I promise. I always do. That's Darren over there from Project Wish Upon a Star. I'll talk about what he's mentioning right now, and I will be saying, I'm gonna do that. I promise. Next we've got Kraken. Legendary Supplements gives you Kraken, not like Release the Kraken from Clash of the Titans or What Happens When You Go to the Restroom, but this is a focus drink. It's about a shot, and you drink it, it gives you that extra shot of like that extra focus to give you a little bit more of a pinpoint laser focus when you're playing video games or you're trying to study. And they've got great flavors. And the thing is, like, if you want a hard reset and not get tased, like I just had to recently do, this is definitely a nice reset. So you drink this, you hold onto it for about 20 seconds, then drink it all the way. And it's just whew. But they've got Blizzard Mojito, they've got Kick and Mango Peach, they have Melon Mellow, and Sour Pumpkin Grape. Check those out, guys. They're great flavors, and it does work. Again, everything that I promote, it's not something that I just want to promote just because they're throwing money at us, because nobody's throwing money at us. But I do because it's actually a product that I use and I do trust. And this is definitely one of those. So next we've got Movo, which we saw the commercial at the beginning, and you're seeing, let me see. You see the microphone. This is the microphone on me right now. And this is a microphone that oh shoot, did I turn it? No, it's still good. This is a microphone that I do use when I go to cons or when I go to signings. You just don't see it because we actually put it inside of a little device that holds it, and it looks like a microphone. Because I'm just going to tell you guys out there, if you are podcasters, and if my internet cuts out, I'm going to throw the computer. That was me just stopping. I still got internet. You're a podcaster. If you're going out and doing interviews, and you do this. So what is it that you're talking about? And you're holding this. This is one of my pet peeves. Seeing people do that, I'm like, I want to grab it and just throw it at them. There are things out there that we could actually put these on to hold it and make us look a little bit more professional, because the biggest thing that we want to do is look professional. And these particular microphones help us to do that because it gives us a professional sound. And also they have, so I got the single pack. There are also dual packs where they have 2 of these. And there's also the newest ones, which are the nanos, which I am going to be getting. And I cannot wait to try them out. But they come in what looks like a small, they look like they're just an iPod case, and they're that small. And they clip onto your things a lot better than this thing. This, I'm going to modify it, obviously, because that's what I always do with things, and put a magnet so it just kind of sticks there instead of dealing with the clip. But with the Nano, it's small enough that it can do that, and it's a great little microphone also. So I cannot wait to get my hands on that and try it out at our next event, which I will be doing. But Movo is, we do trust them as far as all our mics. This mic in particular, I've been using for a while now. I have the U300, and I also have several other mics at home that we use at LA Comic-Con. So with that, and wireless mics, should charge them. Always a good idea. They'll never fail on you. But mine did. So anyways, guys, so with mentioning that LA Comic-Con, Project Wish Upon a Star is going to be at LA Comic-Con along with, or actually it should be around the other way around. We're going to be at LA Comic-Con along with Project Wish Upon a Star. Project Wish Upon a Star is a great company or great charity that is a pediatric cancer patient charity. Veronica and Darren are amazing people. They've been doing this, doing charity work for a very long time, from Ronald McDonald, the Ronald McDonald House, all the way to now with them doing their own Project Wish Upon a Star. They are going to be raffling off 2 tickets, Darren, a weekend pass. So they're raffling off a weekend pass. I'm guessing it's going to be 1. But a weekend pass to LA Comic-Con. So, really, James? I have not gotten my press pass approval. Shoot, man. I'm going to have to look into that. We will be getting it. I know, because we've been doing it for the last 3 years. But Project Wish Upon a Star is doing a raffle for a weekend pass to LA Comic-Con. We're talking about a pass to get into the con. That's what I want to bring. I'll make sure that's clear to everybody. So wherever you're watching this, it's just to get into the con itself. And you'll be able to come by the booth, see us, see them. And so go on to their website, which is it's Project Wish Upon a Star, PWAS. On their link tree, it'll have the link to go to it. I believe it's a $5 buy-in to be able to get a raffle ticket to be able to get a weekend pass. I mean, come on, $5 for a chance for a whole weekend, which I think the weekends are going for like 200. And also you're helping out a great charity. Win-win there. There you go. Baby Jesus will smile on you. But check them out, guys, because we are going to be there with them, and we're going to be setting up actually a really cool booth with them. I cannot wait. I'm going to start showing pictures as I'm building all the other parts. I did build a giant spoon. I am not done. I may finish it this weekend if I can get the stuff that I need for it. But it's looking actually pretty good. It's been shaped up pretty well so far. So I'm excited about this. And I'm excited to be at LA Comic-Con again. LA Comic-Con is always our biggest con that we do at the end of the year. And I am jealous that James got approved already. I'm going to kick you, James. I don't see why we wouldn't get approved. I mean, come on. We were there last year, the year before that. But anyways, that is it for kind of shout outs for our affiliates, and also along with whatever else we have to talk about. Now we're going to move into the meat and potatoes of the show. And that is, we're going to kick it off with a segment that we like to call Geek News. And that's not the right background. That's the right background. Yeah, that's pretty sexy. But anyways, guys, Sylvester Stallone's John Rambo is getting a prequel movie. Rambo Reborn. It's probably not the name of that's just, title. Noah, and here we go with stupid last names. I hate this. Noah got that name right. Centinello. Close? Anybody? Anybody? Am I close? I hope so. As a young John Rambo. Oh, really quick, James, who's going from the Geek Saga team? So far, it's myself and David. We are tracking down a couple other people that may be coming along with us. And if you know, and this is a shout out to or call out to anybody, if you know of any geek girls that are out there that would love to try their hand at podcasting and being live in an event, and that it's not shy to go ask questions to people, and also has vast knowledge of stuff when it comes to the geek world, tell them to send a resume over to us. Not a resume. I mean, they can DM us and we'll talk. But anyways, that's who's going. I'm excited for this. He was the recruit on Netflix. Good show. Yeah, I know. So yeah, he was part of the recruit. It was a decent show, but if you guys all know me and have been watching the show, I am more of a purist. I grew up with Rambo, and Rambo through the 80s, and all of those 80s like action stars were these like, tough dudes that just wrecked everything. And now that you look at these current, like, I guess you can say Hollywood action stars, what happened? The soy milk? Was that what it was? I think it was the soy milk. Because, telling you, man. But the Rambo franchise is officially getting a prequel. Do we need a prequel, though? And it's moving fast forward. Like, they are fast tracking this thing, and I don't know. And then using somebody like Stallone in the past, if you look at him, yeah, he had a hard look to his face. I mean, look at him. Look at the picture right there. And if you remember, Rocky 2, Rambo, The First Blood. And then obviously Rambo, and then Rambo 3, which I don't know what happened. But he had a hard look. And now we're going to this kid who is considered the Netflix heartthrob. He's been into All the Boys, I've Loved Before, The Recruit. He's been, I don't know. James, what are you saying here? We don't need it, but taking advantage of a known IP telling a deeper story. Yeah, it's supposed to be a deeper story. I get it. We're going to be diving a little bit more into Rambo's time in Vietnam before everything that happened in First Blood, and what turned him into this fighting machine, as Colonel Troutman had said, that he can conduct a one-man war. And your guy, or Rambo's not out there with your guys. It's your guys are out there with him. Yeah, I know I'm not good at when it comes to that. But so here's the other thing, guys. And you've heard it before, as far as when it comes to myself and David talking about, these IPs that are trying to be used or trying to be rebooted or trying to give a prequel to. If it's a good story, if it's written well, we're usually 100% behind it. There are quite a few that have come out that, because it was written well, we actually were like, I was like, okay. Like, I mean, come on. I'm wearing a freaking Superman shirt with the new logo, whereas before I was hardcore Christopher Reeves. Now I'm like, hey, you know what? Christopher Reeves was great. That's my era. But freaking Corn Sweat did a great job. I can't. It's Superman. God, got this in the guys section. But I think we could only hope that they tell a good story, tie it to the original story, and give good reasoning for how the original went down. We can only hope. But when you hear who the writers are, you might not think we're going to get that. not a Supergirl. I'm about to drive up to Sacramento. I'm not that far either. But so writers Roy Haynes and Sahara, I'm going to butcher this one. Sorry. So Harab Nasha, who did that movie. And then they wrote Black Adam. That's what I was trying to get to mainly, was Black Adam. Well, James, tell me, how do you feel now about a prequel? The only saving grace I see is the fact that they're going to have director Jalmari Halander, who did Sisu, which was freaking amazing movie. That movie was great. I don't know if you guys have not watched it. It was a really good movie. It was bloody as hell, and holy crap, Sisu got wrecked, but was a beast. And if he can bring that to this, I mean, maybe, just maybe, it's got a chance. The Rock is great. The movie sucked. Come on, let's put it out there. Green Lantern status was what Black Adam is. But the film is supposed to begin in early 2026 in Thailand, dubbing for Vietnam. So I hope Noah is all got his shots and he understands what may happen in Thailand. Should stay in Thailand. Stallone is not going to be involved in this. Stallone is not attached to the new film, despite previously expressing interest in a prequel. It is unclear if his absence is voluntary or contractual. I mean, Sly has a lot of things, and he, I don't think we do need to see him. I mean, we saw that he died in the very last one. Oh, sorry, spoiler alerts. If you guys didn't know that, he kind of just sat on his porch, and that was it for John Rambo. Gave his last fight. But though Stallone has voiced frustrations over lacking ownership of the Rocky and Rambo franchises, so who knows? It may be something that was more legal than just contractual or voluntary. So, but this is something that I'm, especially because I saw the writers and I saw the two movies. It's supposed to be a grittier, more emotional war drama. I get it. Like First Blood, yeah, it was more emotionally charged, but it had a lot of it was action. It was 100% action. But they're saying that this is supposed to have a similar tone to the First Blood, rather than the explosive sequels. It's a touch on Rambo's trauma, his Green Beret training, just everything that was going on. What they're saying. But they're also calling him an anti-hero. I didn't see him as that. I really didn't. If you guys watched, I get it. First Blood was more, if you watch Rambo First Blood, like honestly sit down, watch it. And now being in where I'm at, being what I do, or doing what I do, and seeing a lot of the guys that I've seen and dealt with and know and talked to, that movie is chock full of PTSD. It is what Rambo had because of everything that he had went through. So watching it through a different lens like that changed the story for me, and I still love it. I really do. I love everything about it. And it's not that it's condoning what he did was fine, but it's also showing what a lot of people, especially when it came to the veterans from Vietnam, what they went through, and kind of it's almost like you say prejudice against them, because they were fighting in a war and people were not about it. But anyways, it was showing the trauma that he went through, and it's showing how he was experiencing all of it. And it was all coming out. And that's what that whole movie was about. Yes, Rambo was action packed from beginning to end. And it was more about him going over there, but it still had the Vietnam theme to it because he was going over there to he was a hero trying to save the trapped, the captured POW still there. So for them to call him an anti-hero, I would not. Yeah. But anyways, Sentinello might seem like a left field choice. He really is, but with the right script, right direction, this could redefine, and here's what bothers me. Redefining the Rambo saga for a new generation. So you're going to paint a new picture of who Rambo is. And now are you going to tell me that the movies, again, as we've seen with Disney, were retconned when it came to Star Wars, all the books, comics, everything before Disney? It's great that you want to introduce Rambo to a new generation, but the problem is, one, it's not Stallone. Obviously, we're not going to get Stallone. He's older now. But to redefine, I don't know, you can't redefine this iconic character. You really can't. And I don't think it's going to. And again, here we go. My personal opinion. Just that, so you guys know, my own personal opinion. And I could have this, and I know not everyone's going to agree with it. But I don't feel like it should be. And a lot of franchises have been and shouldn't be trying to redefine anything. Leave good enough alone. So we'll see. This is, again, one of those things where it's like, well, we'll see. I said that about Superman, and here I am with the Superman shirt. Not Supergirl, James, before you even put it up there. But my mind was changed after I watched it. Great writing changes my mind. This one, I'll have to wait and see. So anyways, moving on to the next story, which is, woo! Can't do his voice. Shin Godzilla returns in 4K glory. So there is a Godzilla movie you probably haven't seen, and we got to fix that. So Godzilla is back, and this time it's political. So first of all, those of you guys that are watching this, if you guys are watching on a bigger screen, look closely at this picture of Godzilla cruising through, and the people that are down below are just like chilling. They're just like walking. They're just like as if it's normal. Freaking kaiju's back there. Should we run? Nah, he's going to go that way. We're cool. Just cruising one way, and they're just chilling and walking through a tunnel. Seriously? Is it that bad that Godzilla shows up so much that you're just like, we're cool. He's going the other way. Man. But anyways, sorry. Shin Godzilla 2016 is making a 4K release in theaters starting this weekend, August 14th. Which I'm really excited because I have not seen this Godzilla. I saw -1. I didn't see Shin. I need to see Shin Godzilla. I really do. So I'm hopefully going to be able to get a chance to get to the movie theater and see it in 4K. Perfect for the summer kaiju fix, guys. So directed by Shinji, I hope I'm saying it right. Shinji Higuchi. I think it's, and Hadaki Anno. And that was so this apparently isn't just another monster flick. It's a sharp political thriller wrapped in destruction. So the premise behind this is Godzilla is running for president at this time. he is trying to gain voters. And as we see, they obviously are like, all right, cool. He's just no, I'm kidding. I haven't seen it. What do I know? But anyways, the film opens with a jaw-dropping 20-minute Godzilla rampage, blending traditional kaiju mayhem with bureaucratic satire. This is going to be amazing. The Japanese government's response, board meeting after board meeting, as Godzilla is destroying Japan. He's rolling through and just destroying things. And the funny thing is that it satirizes just the red tape and government paralysis during a crisis. Is it a perfect time for this to come out again or for us to watch? I don't know, but it's chaotic editing, POV shots, and handheld camera work done all by Godzilla himself. Go out there and watch it now. But it captures this with this one. It captures more of the urgency and helplessness of the people. So again, this picture is kind of funny because again, it's like they're just rolling through and they're just like, well, it's here go again. But the humans look tiny on purpose because obviously we're trying to get a better perspective of how big this guy is and what's going on. So the cinematography highlights humanity, powerlessness in the face of nature run amok. Visual influences include Cloverfield, Veep, and the late era Soderbergh. Yes, really. So this is more of a it's going to be a more if you get motion sick, you better probably skip this one. If you don't, go check it out. But I am going to definitely check it out. I love these movies. I did love Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield. Cloverfield Lane was, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I love me a Godzilla movie. I didn't love me so much the Godzilla versus Kong, but I did go see them all. And recently I went back and I at least watched the Godzilla movies again without going as far as Godzilla versus Kong because they just kind of got ridiculous. If you guys had a chance to watch, oh my God, that one show that's on Apple TV, The Moth, or, oh, I can't even remember. James, if you remember, let me know. But I can't remember the name of the show. But so, the standout, of course, as you're going to see, and these are people I don't even know, but Makiko, yeah, I'm not going to. As a government official who wears an emotional toll of disaster, the whole theme of course, the nuclear trauma, global power dynamics, and of course the shadow of World War II, when all this started with Godzilla, are front and center. So we want to know where Shin fits in this Godzilla timeline. If you guys don't know, because of course I literally have watched all the Godzilla movies from the very first one, 1956. And actually it's the 1950, is it 56 or is it 55? I think there was one that was all Japanese, which was the original, and I've seen that one in subtitle. And then I watched the American version, which was still just the first one, with oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the actors, the American actor. They just kind of spliced them in it wherever they can. But I've seen all the Godzilla movies. I really have. And you guys want to know where this one actually will fall? So it doesn't connect to any previous films, including Godzilla -1 or the Monsterverse. It is a standalone reimagining, much like Joker was for Batman fans. So if you're looking, and if you've seen the trailers for Shin, he does look a little bit different, especially when he opens up his mouth to fire off his flames. So this one is a standalone. It doesn't fall into any of the campy Godzillas, which were from 54 to 75, or the Heisea. This is why I need David here. He does better with all these names. But from 84 to 95, which were more of the serious continuity was going on in the millennial area from 99 to 04, which a lot of them were standalones. There was a couple that, like the Final Wars, was kind of a standalone. But then you've got from 2016 to present, which starts the Shin, including Godzilla -1, the anime spin-off. Meanwhile, the MonsterVerse. So you guys know that there is differences. You have all those other ones that were Japanese made and dubbed, and then we saw them here. Then you've got the MonsterVerse, which is the legendary ones, which is what we saw as far as Hollywood made, which we got Godzilla, King of Monsters. You've got all the ones that were during the 2000s leading up to what we have now. That's what they're calling the MonsterVerse. So there's your different eras, so you can figure out where it is. Shin is a standalone, but it is during the Reiwa era. There you go, guys. So here we go, guys. Shin Godzilla isn't just a creature feature. It is a visually bold, thematically rich critique of systems that fail in the face of crisis. Whether you missed it the first time or want to experience its terror in stunning 4K, this re-release is a reminder of why Godzilla is just king. So, moving on, guys, to the next story, which we got. Yes. Why the world loves anime and might be tired of Disney. So, how many of you guys out there are tired of Disney? Like the Disney cartoons. Like, not Phineas and Ferb, because if Dave Earing is watching this, we all love Phineas and Ferb. There's no going back on that one. But who is tired of kind of the Disney style cartoons and everything? Well, actually a lot of people. With a lot of the anime that's emerging, and also the new stuff that's coming out on Netflix. I mean, just it's taken over. It really has. The anime style of artwork, the storytelling, and everything else is becoming what we were watching now. So, what are we talking? Well, the global anime boom. Tell me, what is driving it? You guys know what's driving it? Director, oh God, I need, you know what? I should have Google I should put Google up to the microphone and be like, boop, 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 boop. Tatsuya Nagamine believes that Western audience are turning to anime because, here it is, Hollywood and Disney are too formulaic. There you go. Formulaic. It is a word. It says it right here in front of me. Japanese anime offers unpredictable, bizarre, emotionally deep storytelling. I can't argue with that. Can you guys? I mean, seriously, when you think of anime, especially like I was rewatching My Hero Academia, and I know some people give me crap about it because they're like, oh, that's mainstream. I like it. It's fun. I like a lot of other stuff, and I'll start off with like freaking Robotech is what I kicked off my anime with, which was long before everything else came around. Along with what is it? Battle for the Galaxy, which was actually, oh my God, now I'm drawing a blank on the name of the original cartoon. Anyways, I do watch a lot of anime. I have watched a lot of anime, and I do have like not just the mainstream stuff. The mainstream stuff was something I was watching recently, obviously, because everybody else was too. So there you go. Suck it. Anyways, I'm just kidding. Western productions stick to more of a safe, happy ending format, while anime embraces risks. I mean, they really do embrace the risk when it comes to the storytelling. They kill off the main characters. They just have twists to all this stuff, and it's all done really well. And we just eat it up and keep coming back for it. You know, and not only that, but from what I've read, and this is not just from the article that I got a lot of this from, was that yeah, we see that it's high quality art and it's at a lower cost. So it equals a chance for them to actually have a global reach when it comes to this stuff. I mean, come on. If you can get this done for pretty cheap and it looks pretty amazing and it's, the sound quality is great, the picture is great, everything's great about it. Even the storytelling is better than half the stuff that's coming out. You're going to get a global reach. You're going to get fans from all over the world that are going to be obviously checking this out. So, and then on top of that, thanks to a lot of the digital production, the advances on anime can now use 10,000 plus drawings per 20-minute episodes, up to 3,000 to 3,500 compared to 3,000, 3,500 in the past. So the quality of the picture is obviously looking really great now. And like, I do like Shinshan. If you guys have ever watched that, it's hilarious. But you can see that the quality is not that great, but it's still fun to watch. The art isn't like, pristine, but it's still great. Now, when you watch some of this anime, it's freaking amazing. And that's a lot to do with and so smaller teams, less costs, better product. And then the next thing that they've now got is a global talent. Their reaches are bigger when it comes to talent to be able to come in, whether it is mainly for dubbing. I wouldn't say mainly for dubbing, but for dubbing and also the original voice actors. And what we're seeing, especially when you go to cons, we're seeing more of these voice actors being put in front center stage, and people are going freaking nuts for them. Not the way they look, it's their voices and the characters that they voice. And that's what the freaking fans are looking at. They don't see them as, short, pudgy dude that, changes his voice. They see that person as name the character. And they are loving it. And especially the talent, they're eating it up. So it's crazy where we've come as far as with anime. We went from, the Macross, freaking Robotech stuff, and you see the drawings progress and you see the art progress. And I'm not taking away from anything from any of those, because the art has been great. Sometimes the animation just doesn't look the greatest when it's moving, but it's still watchable. It's still great. So, I mean, anime, when you look at it, anime is more of culture now. Really, when you think about it, it's a culture. Sorry, I didn't mean culture, but culture. Whereas Disney is fast fashion. Think about that. Anime is it is like a lifestyle that people are living. From the collecting of memorabilia to the watching of the different episodes to rewatching and doing more. Whereas Disney, they pop out their stuff and then it's just a fast buck. That's what they're looking for. But it's more fashion, really. The fashionable thing. So we are definitely in the era of anime. We're at that point where that's what we're seeing. I can't wait to see what else is coming out. turning more of the mangas into actual anime is going to be really cool. And we're going to start seeing Disney not be the standard anymore. Because for the longest time, as far as here in the US, Disney was the standard when it came to animation. Not so much anymore. So much more, so much so that Disney has also mentioned, and I forgot, trying to think of where I read that, but that Disney has said that they are going to probably go back to doing like art the way they used to do it with the art, with actually drawing it and everything. So Disney's like, holy crap, we got to do something to try to get the attention back on us. So it is, well, and it's also just the type of kids that are growing up and reading this stuff. So we're kind of seeing Disney going out and animes and mangas coming in with their darker themes and their crazy characters. It's great. I love it. I really do. I'm looking forward to it. So that is, anime boom isn't just about flashy fights or cool character design. It's about freedom of storytelling, and it really is when you think about it and you look at the stories. Cultural authenticity and emotional unpredictability, where Disney offers comfort, anime offers challenge. And in a world hungry for stories that breaks the mold, Japanese animation continues to lead the charge. Let's go. Let's see. So Lupe over there on Instagram says, shh, that gets around and they'll buy it all up and bam, One Piece land next to the Haunted Mansion. Hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I mean, shoot, or at least Universal's up and coming. Imagine a One Piece land at Universal, though. That would definitely be competing with Disney at that point. Lupe, it's $1 million idea. Let's run with it. But that is it for our. Oh, I was hoping to slide into that, but it was up here. That is it for. All right, man. I don't like the way this. Like, I need the light, like right. Oh, hey, look at that! You can actually see that actual color of my skin. Actually went to One Piece land at Universal Japan. Oh, that's right. Duh, they already have that. And it was actually pretty cool. Lupe is a good friend of mine. We go way back. All about paintball with him. His daughter is a pro paintball player. And Lupe tends to go to Japan a lot because he is part Japanese. And yeah, I'm actually pretty jealous. So, but anyways, all right. As Lupe responds back to me about whether it was really cool or not, we're going to move to our next segment, which is seriously always a fun time. And here we go. Yes, this week in geek history, we're going to be going into the best sci-fi universes in TV history. We're going to dive into a little bit of like sci-fi stuff that went on our TVs as we were growing up, and this is what we're going to be talking about. And let me get my. So I was a little. Oh no. Oh no, where'd it go? What happened? It didn't save anything. Oh, that's not good. I hate when that happens. All right, well, we're going to have to do it this way. which is not how I like to do things, but it'll work. Let me get into my... I had it all set up, but that's okay. So anyways, let's get this party started. I'm not going to sing for you guys, but it's okay. The time warp where we explore the greatest galaxies in pop culture. That's how I was supposed to start. I was going to be smooth about it, but today we're setting coordinates for the greatest sci-fi universes in television history. These aren't just shows. They're vast, immersed realms where starships fly, time bends, and alien civilizations. God, I gotta take some more freaking Duolingo for English on this one. Civilizations feel as real as our own. So let's break down the best TV sci-fi universes that basically rewrote the genre and changed what we expected from the small screen. Now, we got to also remember that had it not been for Star Wars, I think we wouldn't have gotten a lot of these things. Some of these have been around before Star Wars. So I guess some of them they paved the way for Star Wars. But as far as the small screen, well, you get it, whatever. Anyways, very cool. Also had Resident Evil walkthrough with laser tag guns, and oh my god, really? Lupe, next time you go to Japan, I'm going with you. I seriously am. Star Trek universe for sure. Oh, Siri, stop. Just stop. I didn't even ask for you to come on. All right, and we are going to kick it off with, as my good friend Lupe has just said, the Star Trek universe. So, Star Trek debuted in 1966, the original series. So, the core series, all right, April 2027. Ooh, I'm going to start saving my pesos because I definitely want to go. But, all right, so it debuted in 1966 with the original series, which was just Star Trek. If you can see this, in the picture that I did post on there, that is the original cast. There was one that was thrown in there, as you can see. She didn't end up going past the pilot episode, but the rest of it was great, and the rest is history. But along the way, Star Trek has done a ton of things. You've got multiple television shows that were spin-off from it. So from Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, that leads all the way up to right now, which of course I did put a picture in there that shows all the different captains, all the different shows that have spun off from the original Star Trek. On top of that, you got movies, you have video games, comic books, cartoons, toys, all from the Star Trek universe. And quick shout out to Nacelle Toys and I guess you can say he's a friend of the show, Brian Volkweiss, and all the great stuff that he's doing with Star Trek and all the figures that they're bringing out. He's trying to capture more of the older figures, or at least the older characters, and some characters that were not produced in the first place. So they span a long way with this show. 66 was when it debuted. So this is a vision of an optimistic post. There it is. Post-scarcity future where diplomacy and exploration take center stage. Trek shaped real-world science and ethics decisions, and it's still boldly going where no show has gone before. You really think about it, a lot of the stuff that you've seen in Star Trek is actually around. Shout out to our Nacelle and Brian. Hell yeah, of course, shout out to him. I love Brian. He's great. Batman universe is not sci-fi. That is comic book. Come on, Lupe. Besides, the first Batman serial did come out in 1932, which was on the big screen, and he was wearing like this wool costume and looked ridiculous, but just a little history there. But next, we are going to hit one of my personal favorites, and that is the Doctor Who series, which debuted in 1966 and has actually came before Star Trek and has been around just as long or longer than Star Trek and is amazing. If you guys have never watched Doctor Who, you're missing out. Especially my personal favorite Doctor Who, my personal favorite Doctor was David Tennant. He was oh my God, I'm about to blow that. The 10th Doctor. And he's known as the Warrior Doctor. And that's what I liked about him, because he was just like, ends right here. I'm going to do this. And he had a great changing when he came in. It was great. So, but of course, the premise of it is a time-traveling alien called Doctor journeys through space and time in a blue police box, the TARDIS, changing faces, companions, but never his moral compass. He is really, when you meet one Doctor, you're going to meet them all. I mean, the great thing about the writing is that they kept that Doctor's, like it says, moral compass true through the whole thing. Never wavering, always saying, hey, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is what I'm going to do. It's great. But it is the longest sci-fi show in history, longest running sci-fi show. This is like 100% true. Doctor Who is a consistently regenerating exploration of adventure, morality, and cosmic weirdness. It is. It's great. I love the show. And actually this year at LA Comic-Con, we are going to see David Tennant, Billy Piper, and I can't remember who else they're going to be bringing out from Doctor Who, but they're going to be bringing them all out. So I'm actually really excited because I might get a chance to actually meet the Doctor. I might cry. I'm just saying it right now. I might cry. Just saying. But there we go. That is, again, one of my favorites. Next, we got The Expanse. So here's another shout out to Nacelle. Nacelle put out some great figures that had to do with The Expanse. Brian Volkweiss is a big fan of this show too. So Brian, if you ever see this, man, much love. But anyways, The Expanse debuted in 2015, and I actually really love the show. It is a great show. So a realistic near future in which humanity is colonized the solar system and tension between Earth, Mars, and the belt, the surrounding area, threatens war. So we would have had Amazon Prime without The Expanse. Yeah, we wouldn't have. Honestly, The Expanse was what kicked off the Amazon Prime like shows. And it was so great that they just kept going. And we've got a lot of other great shows from it ever since. So with this, it's like deep political intrigue, hard science fiction, world-class characters which made this modern a classic. It's known for treating physics seriously and gives space a lived-in feel. So when it comes to think about sci-fi, like films, sorry, the root beer. The original Star Wars already gave us a lived-in feel as far as what Lucas did. Lucas made all the ships look like they've been around for a long time. Prime example, the Millennium Falcon. You go in there, and it doesn't look like a lot of the pristine, like Buck Rogers, when the show came out. When you look at the ships, a lot of them were just pristine, clean, white paint or whatever colors they made them, but they were very clean looking ships. And even prior to that, a lot of sci-fi was done just, like it's supposed to look shiny and new. Whereas Lucas gave us a lived in feel when it came to all the ships, the worlds, the whatever it is. The Expanse, I would say, expands on that because it gives us a more realistic view of sci-fi, and also it treats physics actually seriously when it comes to the ships, them, flying through things, flying through atmospheres and everything else. When you watch the show, it gives you that sense of it's possible, it's real. And then on top of that, seeing that these ships that they're in, or space stations, or wherever it is that they're landing, gives you, again, it gives a dirty feel to it. And I don't mean this like in a bad way. I mean like a lived in feel. It feels like they truly have, from the time that we're watching it till whenever this is supposed to take place, that it really was colonized and they've been living there for a while. So it is a great show. The characters are all great. The writing's amazing. I love the show. Thomas Jane is even in the show too. So if you have not watched this, get over to Amazon Prime and check it out. It is a great show. I love this show. So, but we're going to be moving on. Moving on to the next one, which is, and I know you're looking at it, is Battlestar Galactica, and I gave you guys two different Battlestars. Okay, the original 1978, which was a great year, Battlestar Galactica, and then the more sexier 2004 Battlestar Galactica reboot. Both were great shows. The Battlestar Galactica from 1978 was a great show just because it was in the wake of Star Wars, and it was the first TV show to actually do what it did, which was looked really cool. And we got a whole universe out of that. Then we got the 2004 reboot, which was still gritty, but had more of the sexiness to it because you had a lot of the girls that were hot. Not gonna lie. But the 2004 was a little bit more, I guess, like I already said, it was more of a sexy, gritty thing, but like it was showing, of course, and if you haven't seen Battlestar, some people have never seen Battlestar. The whole thing is that obviously robots that are basically can think for themselves come and destroy Earth, and, well, destroy the colonies and try to eradicate humanity. And but there's a lot to it. It blends like sci-fi with philosophical and religious themes. That was more of what the new 2004 one was. 2000 or 1978 was a little bit more obviously campy and for the time, but it's still a great show. It holds up, and I hold both of them in the universes as great. So you guys should check it out. So I'm going to tell you guys, back in the day, I don't know how many of you guys are going to remember this, but at Universal Studios, they used to have a portion in the tram ride that actually took you through one of the Cylon ships, and it had one of the leaders there. And then, of course, a colonial pilot comes through and he starts shooting the freaking laser. And I always thought it was the greatest thing in the world. I got to go in and I saw Cylon blow up and everything. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, back then they did do the whole, like, there was some toys for Battlestar. There was some like there was some merchandise, not a lot. And then, of course, as we got the 2004, we got a lot more merchandise for it. We did get figures. We've got T-shirts. We got all that stuff. So, but we're moving on to Stargate, the Stargate universe. So here's one thing I'll tell you. I did watch SG-1 when it first came out in 1997. I watched it for, I forgot how many. I think I did 2 seasons. And then, of course, they came out with Atlantis, Universe, and so much more after that. So this was based off of the 1994 film Stargate. And then, of course, the Stargate series expanded more on the lore with interplanetary travel, ancient alien tech, and massive galactic mythology. The original one had Kurt Russell and Oh my God, I'm going to draw a blank on his name. If you guys can remember his name. I just drew a blank on his name. God, can't believe I did that. But they, with all the different Stargate shows, they expanded more on the whole technology of the universes, how they traveled, and all the different alien races. It was a really good show. I can't knock it. I mean, some people say, oh, it's SG1, or oh, it's Atlantis, or oh, come on. It's all one universe. You might have a few that are better than others, but come on. Stargate was awesome. I actually liked Stargate Atlantis more. See, James is one that says he liked Atlantis more than SG1 or Universe. So, but this was a great show. We got MacGyver out of the closet and we dusted off MacGyver's jacket and told him, hey, dude, you're going to be traveling through space now. So bring out the Swiss Army knife, bring out the paper clips and duct tape. Let's see what you can do and where you're going to go. And he did good with SG1, and then it expanded. So it's known for its episodic adventures, teamwork-driven storytelling, and a long-term character arches. It gave fans a military-flavored sci-fi journey across multiple shows. I don't know how much of military-flavored. We'll leave that in there. But yeah, sure. But it was a great show. I did enjoy, again, my favorite was obviously the original movie, and I still watch that to this day. I'm going to have to probably go back and watch some more SG1. Next, we got another one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites, which was Firefly. Debuted in 2002, and I do remember when it debuted because I was just happened to be on Channel 11 here in LA or here in Southern California, and caught the first episode, and I thought it was amazing, and so I had to stick around for the next. The unfortunate thing was that Firefly fell into the horrible trap of being bounced around between times and days, which couldn't find a foothold for its fans. So therefore, it only lasted one season, which really sucks because it would have been great to see more. We did get the Serenity movie, which kind of closed filled in some of the gaps or whatever you want for us, but it wasn't enough. So they did obviously expand it onto comic books and graphic novels. So we did get a lot out of this. And there's even a game out there if you didn't know that. But it is an amazing show. It is a fun show. So it's a space western following Captain Malcolm Reynolds, Nathan Fillion, my friend. Not really. I wish. One could wish. And his crew as they try to survive on the fringes of a corrupt excuse me. I gotta stop drinking root beer. As I finish it. But anyways, on the fringes of a corrupt central government. So it was definitely canceled too soon, but gained a cult status. It really did gain a cult status. I mean, come on. There are like the Browncoats, which is a group here in LA, and they always do get-togethers, meetups, and all other stuff. And then like with the comic books, it expanded on its universe. And of course, like I said, it later continued in a film, which was Serenity, and that was a great film. Nathan Fillion was amazing in the show, and everybody else. I mean, shoot, we had Ellen Tudyk. Is it Adam Baldwin? Adam. No, because Alec, Adam, Billy, William. One of the Baldwins. I'm sorry, Jane. But it had a lot of great characters, a lot of great actors that then spun off to go on to, or moved on to other great projects. So you guys could check that out. If you guys have not seen it, it's one season. It's a lot of fun. The movie's great. Check it out. Flies attacking me. Next, we've got Farscape, which I had the opportunity, which was really cool, to meet Gigi, who you see right there. She's the one that's all white. Gigi Edgley at Boise, Idaho at Gem State Con a couple years ago. Really, really nice person. She did a great interview on stage and stuff. But Farscape was a great show. What was its downfall? Well, it was created by Jim Henson, and the creatures, the puppetry in the show, and the makeup were amazing. It just cost a lot to be able to make this show, and that's what sucks. So basically, it's about an astronaut was flung across the universe and teams up with alien fugitives aboard a living ship. And the hilarity and action just goes on. So this was a great show. I do love watching the show. I have to finish watching the show. I never got to finish it all. So, but if you guys get a chance, check it out. Like, no joke, the puppetry, the makeup, all great. Yeah, it's cheesy. I mean, it's a sci-fi show. What do you expect? But it built a rich universe full of oddball species, and it was dark humor. And it was kind of, I would say, emotional storytelling. It's a great show. If you guys get a chance, watch it, sit down. It's a lot of fun. I mean, came out in 1999, so yeah, it's old, but whatever. Still holds up, I think. And Gigi, you're awesome. Next, we're moving on to Black Mirror. All right. 2011. When this show first came out, I did watch it. It was a trip. It was more of a modern, like, I guess you could say modern Twilight Zone, because obviously the themes to it were more relatable to us now. Even Twilight Zone was still relatable. I mean, if you really sit down and watch them and the themes to the shows, still relatable. But it's an anthology series in the likes of the Twilight Zone. It's exploring the dark consequences of technology and human behavior, which we are starting to see some of this stuff. Like, no joke. Though episodic, Black Mirror weaves a loosely shared universe. Its influence on public discourse about technology is massive. It really is. Like, you watch it and you're like, holy crap, we are like one step away from actually having that stuff. Oh man, sorry, Lupe. I just saw like all your responses. James Spader, you're right, James Spader. Oh my God. Wasn't that also part of the Universal Studios tour? Yes, it was. So he was responding back. The animal show they had there was also awesome. Yes. Again, this is stuff that Lupe is, what he's talking about is stuff that was at Universal Studios Hollywood a long time ago. And Red Dwarf. You know what? I didn't put that on there, but that is a great show. So if you guys haven't heard of Red Dwarf, go on to, I believe it is on, I think it's still on Netflix. It's not Netflix, it's Amazon Prime, but last I saw it was free. But it was a UK comedy about a ship called the Red Dwarf. And it was a massive ship. And you're following the antics of like this one, I don't remember what he was. Was he part of security? And then the other one was like a janitor, and they shared a room, and there was like a robot. It's a great show. It's hilarious. It really is. And I mean, come on, most British shows are pretty damn funny. Yes, you got to kind of get used to the comedy of it, but it's pretty funny. Anyways, we're moving on to the last one, which is Fringe. I did watch the show. It was great. I love seeing Charlie come back, and he went from hockey to being a son of a crazy scientist that is basically like trying to find weird phenomenons, alternate timelines, and parallel universes. His dad was a scientist in the show. Came out in 2008. It was another one of those shows that was on Fox when Fox was king of like Fridays. And it was known as the spiritual successor to the X-Files. Fringe went from Monster of the Week to a deep emotional multiverse saga. So it was in the lines or in the veins of X-Files. Once we lost X-Files, this is what kind of filled the gap where, yes, at the beginning we were getting like Monster of the Week type stuff as they were coming through the different like warps or timelines. Then we got more into like the stories where it began to give us more of a multi-universe when it came to everything they were doing. And I really did. I honestly enjoyed this show. It was a great show. Sorry, I'm checking over on Instagram. I can't believe I did that. Sorry, Lupe. It's hard to jump back and forth because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything over here and I'm not missing over here. But this was a really great show. Joshua Jackson was in it. He was one of the leads. And that's why I said, Mighty Ducks, if you guys didn't catch that. But again, it debuted. You can still catch this on Netflix. Was it Netflix or Amazon Prime? I think it was Amazon Prime. And if you get a chance, do get it. It still holds up. It's still a great show. It's written really well, and it's a lot of fun to watch. His dad is a scientist, and he's doing all kinds of crazy experiments and opening up time or alternate timelines. He's opened up different parallel universes. So it's a really cool show. But I mean, that is it for this week. So from wormholes to warp drives, these sci-fi worlds have given us more than just entertainment. They've inspired entire generations to ask, what if? Whether you're commanding a starship or lost in time with a sonic screwdriver, which I do have one, it's a sonic screwdriver spork. These universes remind us that the final frontier isn't space. It's your imagination. I like that. So, there you go, guys. That was This Week in Geek History, and that is more, I would say, it for me here on the Geek Saga. Guys, if you are looking for us and want to find, everything is at the Geek Saga. All our socials are going to be at the Geek Saga. You can see older episodes of this show on YouTube and a lot of the interviews that we've done at cons and at signings on YouTube. Some of them obviously are posted up here on Instagram also. If you're watching this over there on Instagram or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can catch all our stuff there. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for everyone that tuned in, check this out, and telling you next week, I'm always trying to go bigger, It's just how I am. So next week, I'm going to try something new. I just have to get the right equipment to get me going in there, but I should be doing this from the inside of the theater here at Club Phoenix. So with that, guys, come back next week on Wednesday. And yeah, we'll be talking more geek stuff. We'll be talking about, what's still coming up for LA Comic Con for us. Hopefully I got my press passes. If not, well, we'll figure something out. But yeah, I mean, thanks guys for watching. Look forward to being here next week with you guys. And of course, as always, come back, same geek channels, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Same geek time, 7:30-ish. So as the saga continues.